Long life international solidarity. Long life the people of West Papua. Free West Papua. The struggle is continued.
Can the UN pressure Indonesia to grant West Papua independence? UNTL students speak out. Friends, welcome to the Manuscript Papua YouTube channel. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us here at Manuscript Papua, a critical narrative on the West Papua issue and the solidarity statement of UNTL students. On the 26th of May, 2025, students from the National University of Timor-Leste, UNTL, held a press conference at their main campus and publicly expressed solidarity with the people of West Papua in their ongoing struggle for self-determination. In a statement broadcast live by SAP News, they urged the United Nations to pressure Indonesia into granting independence to West Papua. While this declaration reflects moral conviction and regional empathy, the issue remains deeply complex when examined through the lens of international law, national sovereignty, and global political realities. From the perspective of international law, West Papua has been officially recognized as part of the Republic of Indonesia since the implementation of the Act of Free Choice in the year 1969. Although the process remains controversial, it was formally endorsed by the United Nations. The principle of non-intervention and respect for state sovereignty presents a major obstacle to any potential UN involvement aimed at compelling Indonesia to relinquish the region. In practice, the right to self-determination is typically upheld in the context of colonial rule or foreign occupation, two conditions which, in the view of the majority of the international community, are no longer applicable in the case of Papua. The solidarity expressed by UNTL students is deeply rooted in Timor-Leste's own collective memory of colonization and the long, difficult road to independence. This shared regional experience of marginalization fuels their moral support. However, diplomatically, global support for an independent West Papua remains limited. Only a few Pacific nations, such as Vanuatu and the Solomon Islands, have consistently advocated for the cause. Indonesia, on the other hand, has cultivated strong diplomatic influence across regional and international platforms, including ASEAN, the Group of 20, and the United Nations, making external pressure on the Papua issue increasingly difficult to mobilize. Therefore, the likelihood of the United Nations urging Indonesia to grant independence to West Papua in the near future is very slim. Nonetheless, the actions taken by UNTL students carry significant meaning. They serve as a reminder that the struggle of the Papuan people for justice, recognition, and dignity is far from over. Solidarity movements like this help expand the global conversation and highlight the need for open, inclusive dialogue grounded in human rights principles. In conclusion, while the current global political climate may not yet allow for direct intervention, the voices of the students from UNTL demonstrate that awareness and concern for the fate of West Papua remain alive, especially among a younger generation that inherits the spirit of resistance against injustice. Friends, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to continue getting the latest information about the struggle for Papuan independence. Solidarity for Papuan independence from the Manuscript Papua YouTube channel.
Manuscript Papua.
Get ready for the count. 3, 2, 1.
From a student of UNTL, pass to West Papua civilians. Solidarity for independence. Freedom, self-determination is one of the most valuable principles, higher than any other value that every person must enjoy in their life, especially people living in a specific land. This value was attained by the people of West Papua on December 1st, 1961, proclaimed as the day of West Papua's independence. However, just 18 days later, the people of West Papua were forced to lose their self-determination due to intervention by the Indonesian state and its apparatus. The colonial Indonesian state, in collaboration with the United States and the Netherlands, created a decision through the Newark Agreement on August 15 in 1962, which obliged West Papua to become a territory of Indonesia. Unfortunately, this decision did not involve the West Papuan people in any way. Despite all of this, the Indonesian state imposed itself on the people of West Papua, forcing them to lose their fundamental right to determine their own destiny during referendum in 1969. At the time, West Papua's population was around 800,000 people, but only 1,026 delegates participated in that referendum. That referendum did not involve the full participation of the West Papuan people in deciding their future. Up to now, in 2029, Indonesia's colonial regime continues to expand its domination through military operation, forced actions, and repression against the people of West Papua, resulting in many deaths and people living under torture, oppression, discrimination, and various violence committed by the colonial Indonesian state. It's true that there is no colonial power in the world that is human. All forms of colonialism are inhuman. These inhuman conditions are what keep the people of West Papua fighting to demand the right to self-determination that was taken from them by the Indonesian state. However, many states around the world remain silent and turn a blind eye. But we are students of the University of East Timor, recognize our conscience that the struggle of Timor-Leste self-determination was successful thanks to strong international solidarity. Because everyone understands that the fight for self-determination is a fundamental basic right of the people in every land, including the people of West Papua, who also seek to determine their own future through self-determination. That's why it's critically important to uphold solidarity from people to people. There is no greater domain of humanity than God's creation in the world. And when we remain silent and show no solidarity with our brothers and sisters in colonized lands, including West Papua, we fail them in fight for freedom. With this spirit, we are students and as Timorese people express our solidarity with the people of West Papua who are still struggling today for their self-determination. Through this, we declare, 1. We are students from UNTL in Timor-Leste, call on the Indonesian state to end military operation and human rights violence against the people of West Papua. 2. We are students from UNTL argue that the state, churches, civil society, and all university students in Timor-Leste who speak out and strongly defend peace, justice, and humanity to show solidarity with the people of West Papua, just as people from other countries once showed solidarity with Timor-Leste and struggle for self-determination. 3. We call on UN members, states, and the state of Indonesia through the President of Republic of Indonesia, Prabowo Subianto, to restore a referendum for West Papua so that the people can freely and democratically determine their own destiny. Long life international solidarity! Long life the people of West Papua! Free West Papua! The struggle is continue!
Manuskrip Papua.